Looks like I'm reviewing another microphone, but this one's high quality, and I do like looking at things on a budget. Today we are looking at the MAONO PM420 USB condenser microphone set. For transparency, this mic was sent out to me to review, but this won't affect my review in any way, shape, or form. Now, normally if you buy it off Amazon, you'll find it from around $50 to $60, which then includes the microphone, a pop filter, cable, not one but two cable management strips, the ever useful boom arm, a shock mount attachment for the microphone to the arm, and a table mount for the arm. You also get a windscreen. Now, of course, you get manuals and a satisfaction and support card. Taking a closer look at the microphone, it feels fairly sturdy, made of metal completely for the most part, and the front is the MAONO symbol. Like the Snowball, it uses a printer cable to USB-A, and under the grill there's a windscreen. That's about it. When put together, it's a very sleek package, with even the cable and the pop filter being all black. The only colorful bit is this mount adapter, which you're not going to see when it is mounted. It is made of metal, which is nice compared to some other companies which have provided me with really crappy plastic ones, unlike this one here. The cable is 2.5 meters long and is thick and uses the printer cable, much like the Snowball series from Blue, which is what I'm going to compare it to considering their price. Okay, this is how the MAONO mic will sound, recorded straight into Audacity. I'm just going to slap it as is into the video. And from here I can also make some notes that I've been wanting to talk about. For example, the pop filter does make a difference, and it's nice that we do get this, and as well as the articulating arm. The shock mount makes some bit of a difference in case, like, you know, my table shakes or anything. It's not going to, like, affect the sound at all. Another thing to note is that I do think it's still required to have this, because if I remove it, if I make any P sounds, it will have a little puff of air hit into the mic, and it'll capture that. Which is why some people would like the windscreen used, but there actually is like a windscreen or foam already surrounding the capsule inside the microphone itself. And it's not as good, so I guess I could just try out what that sounds like. So this is what it sounds like if I have the windscreen over it and make some P sounds, make any kind of sounds, and make a puff of air towards it. But if you're going to use the pop filter, which I prefer because it just looks better than having a big fuzzball on your microphone, like so, it would, you know, it's just this becomes redundant. So you can choose one or the other. I don't really recommend both because it's kind of silly just to have them, but if it brings you some kind of peace of mind, then I guess. Alright, so right now I'm going to try doing a typing test. I'm actually using Xylent switches, so they're kind of quiet, but let's see how they sound. I'm going to type a little harder than I normally do so you can get an idea of how much noise you get from what are essentially like dampened tactile keys. What if I click? How's that sound? And that's how it's going to sound. Alright, this is the sound of the Blue Snowball in comparison to the MAONO that we're reviewing today. As you can tell, it doesn't sound that bad, though the quality isn't quite as up there with it. And you're paying essentially the same price, so you're getting a lower quality sound for about the same price. You also don't get a table mount. But if you don't have a table that can use a table mount, I guess this table stand will work better. Another thing I should note about the Blue microphone is that you actually have a windscreen built into the microphone itself. It's not quite the same as a pop filter, but it will decrease the probability of your P sounds hitting your capsule a little too hard. For comparison's sake, I'm actually going to compare the microphones all to the Blue Yeti that we all know and love. And something interesting I should point out is that it actually records at a lower sample rate of 16-bit, whereas the MAONO microphone records at a 24-bit sampling rate, which is pretty interesting because it's cheaper, but it records at a higher quality level, which I find kind of interesting just as a product. But something I think everyone has noticed from watching right now is that the difference in quality that you actually can perceive is it's pretty minimal. Most of us aren't going to be able to tell the difference between the two microphones, or the three microphones if we include the Snowball and Snowball, the Snowball Ice that we're using in this current situation due to how affordable it is. Because of that, I figured when it comes to these microphones, most of us are going to pick based on like what we're going to get in terms of usability as a package. When it comes to sound quality, if you really care about that and you don't have the biggest budget, then yeah, I'd definitely go for the MAONO because of the better recording sampling rate. And when it comes to most of us, we're just not going to be able to tell the difference between sound quality. Okay, now we are back on the MAONO microphone. I'm going to be using this for the rest of the video. And so, things I want to discuss about this microphone is that the fact that this microphone and the blue snowball ice, you can't really control the gain. And that's important because for this microphone, something you may notice is I'm actually pretty close to the microphone, because if I'm not too close, it's not going to hear me very well. It also helps if I raise my voice a little bit when I'm talking to this microphone, just for it to be able to hear me a little better. So while it does record in a higher quality, the gain isn't exactly at the highest level. And the reason for this is because the people who made the microphone didn't want this microphone to pick up a lot of noise that's around you. So that way you're not going to get too much background noise. So if you're not too comfortable being close to your microphone, this might not be the way to go. Which is probably why they included the little fuzzball windscreen, so you don't have to have this big old circle in your face. Now it starts to make a little more sense. See, now I'm looking for it, but I threw it somewhere because I thought it was... Oh, there it is. Okay, now see, that's a little bit more comfortable for me to talk into now, so I guess the little fuzzball makes a lot more sense compared to the pop filter in this kind of situation, just because of the low sensitivity of this microphone. And this honestly isn't so bad, especially if I'm like looking off to the corner, say this way, say my screen is here. I'm not going to notice the microphone that much, and it's still recording my voice. Also, because I'm facing diagonally away from it, my popping sounds never really hit it. So maybe I don't even need this if I'm not looking at it directly and my wind isn't hitting it. Okay, so do I recommend this microphone? The answer is kind of, honestly, it's pretty good. You get a lot for what you pay for. You're getting a high quality microphone that records at a 24-bit rate. You're getting a desk mount arm, which is super useful for just having it ready at all times, and when you need it, and when you don't need it, you just stow it away. You get a windscreen. The microphone already has a windscreen in it, which is definitely a plus. You get a pop filter in case you are more inclined to use that. What you don't get is you don't get a gain knob, so you're going to have to think about how important that is to you in case you want to not be so close to the microphone. Another thing to note is if you want to monitor your own voice while recording, this thing doesn't have a headphone jack for you. There's only one jack, and that's just so the mic can work. It's plug and play, which is nice, but I should note that that's pretty much all there is when it comes to plugs on this microphone. Overall, this is a high quality microphone package for those on a budget. Those who probably want to look towards this microphone are those who want really high quality audio recording, so maybe those who are doing podcasts as well as recording for video voiceovers and whatnot. When it comes to streamers, you might want it too, especially if you're a very loud person, but if you're a little bit more on the quieter side, this might not be the one for you. Still, all in all, I like this microphone a lot in that it sounds really good. But I just do wish that I had a bit of gain adjustment, though that would be pushing it considering the quality of the sound of the microphone. Because if there was a gain knob on this thing, I'm pretty sure the price would increase a decent amount. You sacrifice knobs and control for quality. There's always a compromise when you go under the $100 bracket. That's just how things are. So this has been technical. I hope this helps. I need a new outro. I'm getting really tired of that one.